Did you know that your relationship to your pelvis can affect your ability to attract clients, money, success, and love? Welcome to the C.A.P podcast. I am your host, Carma Spence, the Own Your Awesome in Business and Life Coach. And if you've been following this podcast, you'll know that every once in a while I have an episode that's kind of, outside of the box. Well, today is one of those episodes. I discovered my guest a few weeks ago when I attended her webinar on how your relationship to your pelvis affects your ability to have money flow in your life, to have clients and success and love. And I found it so fascinating that I really wanted to share this information with you. So I asked her to come on board and be my guest today. Her name is Lynn Schulte, and she uses intuition, energetic bodywork, and her extensive knowledge of aligning the male and female energies to empower women entrepreneurs to magnetize and receive more money, more clients, more success, and more love in their life. Lynn teaches women how to claim their value, charge their worth, cultivate their creative expressions, and live more authentically by reconnecting to the power in their pelvis. Welcome to the C.A.P podcast, Lynn.
Thank you, Carmen. So nice to be here. Thanks so much for inviting me.
So, the pelvis. Why the pelvis? How did you make the connection? Do tell.
Right. Yeah. So I was a physical therapist. I've been one for 26 years. And then 14 years ago, I got dove into women's health as a specialty area. And that's the whole pelvic region. And so through my development of my career, I started working with pregnant and postpartum women. And I was just healing on the physical level and helping them recover from the trauma of childbirth. And then I started incorporating and learning about how to work with the energetics of the pelvic space.
Okay.
And I started to help teach my new moms how to work with this energy. And I kept hearing over and over again, Lynn, you changed my life. You changed my life. And I'm like, wow, great. That wasn't my intention. But okay, great. So really found out firsthand just how powerful this work can be when you start working with the energy of the pelvic space. And so that's, I just loved, I like, wow, this is really helping these women. What can I do? And actually what I found is I kept saying the same thing over and over and over again to these women. And I'm like, well, this is my program. And so I've developed these programs, and I realized that I wanted to focus in really with women entrepreneurs mainly to kind of help them be able to learn how to harness this energy, this power that lives down there so that they can get their work out there in a bigger way. So I develop these programs.
So we know that the space of the pelvic floor area has energy because you were changing these women's lives. Did they tell you why, and that's how you made the connection to business and clients and money?
Yeah, well, no, there was a common theme that kept showing up over and over and over again. And the number one thing I kept finding is that women weren't open to receive. Okay. And so they were blocked. Their energy to receiving was blocked in their body. And women have a lot of beliefs around this idea of receiving. And I felt that was the biggest aha moment most women had, was this ability to, oh my gosh, it's okay for me to receive.
Right.
And so and then they could feel the energy flowing and work with it. And then I started teaching women how to kind of read their pelvic space. So the left side of the body represents your feminine energy, and the right side of your body represents your masculine. And so you can, when you can learn how to visualize and work with the energy of the bowl, you can see what's going on in your life. And so the block to receiving was the biggest piece. But then there's also the overproducing, the women who are overworking themselves into a rut, right, where they're burning out. And so I was like, oh, I need to help these women.
Right. It's kind of a big irony because the feminine yin energy is all about receiving.
Yes.
So why is it that we disconnect from our very nature and become blocked to receiving. I mean, that's what we're built for.
Right, but nobody's really taught us how to do that, because really, if you look back in history, men have we haven't really stepped into our power as women. We kind of did something back in the 60s, 70s with the feminist movement, right?
Right.
But I was talking to someone the other day, and I'm like, yeah, that was kind of like women throwing a temper tantrum, like our toddler part of ourselves, like trying to reclaim our power, because really we haven't been, I mean, gosh, when was it that we just received the right to vote? Wasn't too long ago.
Yeah.
So the equality of feminine to masculine, the business world is basically built on the masculine.
Exactly.
In a masculine way. And so women in that feminine movement, they really showed up in their masculine.
Right.
To make a name for themselves. And so we've denied it.
Right.
And then there's all those stereotypes of, well, it's weak to be in my feminine, or, to be emotional is seen as a sign of weakness, so I'm going to hide it. Or I'm not going to, we don't embrace it because it's really seen as a sign of weakness. And so I'm wanting to help women to reclaim that, to really own their feminine power, is that ability to receive and bring in. It's all about collaboration. We really are shifting in this business world from a place of masculinity to femininity. And
yes.
We need to learn how to embrace that and bring in and step into our own feminine power.